Hi, my name is Leah Cross. I'm a national educator with John Paul Mitchell Systems, and I'm here to present to you today the Twisted Up style from the Awapui Wild Ginger luxury brand by Lucy Dowdy. The Awapui Wild Ginger luxury brand is a brand that will give you high shine, soft, silky hair, and be great for your high fashion clients. So I started by sectioning my beautiful model Jenny into 3 parts. I did a side part on the right side of her head, and it goes all the way back to the middle portion of her head. I then took a division line from that parting all the way to the back of her ear. So now I have 1, 2, and my 3rd section is right here in the middle. So I'm going to begin by setting her hair in this middle section. So taking my teasy brush, I'm just going to comb through her hair slightly, just to make sure I don't have any snarls in there. I pre-blow dried her with the Awapui Wild Ginger Hydro Cream Whip, which is a fantastic anti-frizz, gives me lots of control, and is going to give her some hydration as well. So it's really going to aid in giving me that smooth, silky hair that I really want, luxurious hair. All right, so I took my 1-inch styling rod from my Neuro Tools. This is featuring the Smart Sense technology from the Neuro Tools. And mainly what I'm using this tool for is to really polish and set the hair. The isotherm titanium is what's really giving me that polish. It is smoother than ceramic, and so it's not going to pull on the hair. Also, the isotherm titanium has more fast, even heat. So as I pass over the hair, whether it's with my Neuro Smooth or my either one of my 3 styling tools from my Neuro brand, I'm going to get a really nice high shine, smooth finish from that. And also what's fantastic about this is it gives me much faster even heat so that I am not passing through the hair multiple times. And even when I'm setting with either the styling rod or either of the styling cones, I don't have to hold it onto the hair for very long. I really get that super fast even heat. A nice feature about the isotherm titanium and all of the Neuro Tools is that they heat up to 450 degrees. Which this isn't what I have it set on for Jenny. She's got a medium to finer texture, so it does allow me to have it set for that medium to finer texture. I've got her on 360, which is what I set all of my tools at for my medium to fine. The Neuro Tools come with a little brochure on the inside of the box, which is a really great feature, particularly when you're retailing this item for your guests to take home, because they can look in there and it actually has a guide, a temperature guide, where it shows you what temperature your guests should be putting their hair at for fine, medium, or coarser textures. 450 is really more for our high fashion, professional use. So I typically don't recommend that my clients use it on 450, but for Jenny, she could certainly use this on 360 or 380 for her daily styling. Okay, so you can see here I'm just working up the head, and I'm pinning with my single prong clips right into place. So it's very shiny, looking very smooth, and really setting into place really easily. Using my Paul Mitchell sectioning clips. I love these. They really help me work through the hair super quickly. And they clip and hold my hair right out of the way without giving it any creases. So if you notice when I'm going through and setting all of this, I'm polishing the top of the hair, and I'm also polishing the underneath of the hair. Again, because of that isotherm titanium, it's a really nice feature. So I don't have to load her up with product to get it smooth and polished. I can really utilize the technology from the Neuro styling rod. All right, so we're working up the head just in this middle section. It's also, if you notice, I'm able to take a fairly large size section because of the extra length that is on all of the Neuro styling rod and the Neuro styling cones. So you have a large cone and a small cone. that are wider at the base and much smaller or narrower at the tip, and this 1-inch rod is 1 inch from base to tip. So you have some really nice options there. I love that you can also get this in a 3-in-1 so that your guests, if they don't want to choose, I always say, why pick one when you can have both or 3? So they come with a base, and then you can attach all the different tips to it so that they can have the versatility of using the different size options. All right, this is my last section. It kind of comes into a triangular section on the top here, and I'm just going to set that. And now I'm going to let all of these cool. So there's a reason why we started in the middle. I really want this to set up and have a lot of structure. Jenny's got a very silky texture. She doesn't have a lot of volume naturally. She doesn't have a lot of texture naturally. It's that very silky fine hair. So this is really gonna set that in, so when I go to set her and pin her up, I've got a little bit more texture to work with. All right, now working in the front section, I'm taking this down and taking fairly large size sections. I'm going to work with my small Neuro styling cone. So you can see it's larger at the base and narrow at the tip. And the tip actually has a cool tip, which is a nice feature I find for my guests as well. They're used to working with spring action irons, and most of those have a cool tip. So this is something that they'll be able to be familiar with, and should they desire to use that cool tip, it's there for their use. All right, you can see these are fairly large size sections. I love working in large sections with my small styling cone because I can really get a nice loopy curl. It doesn't have to be, the smaller size I take, the more of that Shirley Temple really tight curl that I'm gonna get, and the larger the curl, or the larger the section, the bigger the curl I'm gonna get. When these first came out, a lot of my guests were like looking at me like, that's a really small styling rod. But when I showed them how to use it with the bigger sections, they really enjoyed utilizing this tool to get their more dressy styles for when they're going out or have a special event. All right, so I'm just working down the side of the head here. You don't have to use too many sections, and just kind of placing those out of the way. You'll also notice I'm not clipping these. I want them to be a little bit looser. And I am doing this in a nice flat wrap, just like I did on the back. Again, Jenny's got really long hair, and having this longer length of the barrel really works good for me. And if you notice too, I'm not holding this hair on the barrel for very long. That isotherm titanium really gives me that fast, even heat. So it makes me a smarter, faster hairdresser. All right, so now we have all of this down, and I'm just gonna let that set out of the way. Now I'm gonna work in the back section here, or on the right side section. This is she's just blow dried straight. So now what I'm going to do is take my teasy brush. What I love is this has a nice pointy tip so that I can really section with that. And I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna give her a little structure and texture and base on this as well. Since I'm not setting this with my hot tool, I just wanna come in and give this some life. You can really see how that expands it very easily. Paul Mitchell really, their tools and their products really help me work smarter and faster as a hairdresser, and I love this. I really want to be able to get my clients in and out in a timely fashion, and be able to give them high fashion styles that last all day, and Paul Mitchell really helps me do that with the technology that they provide for me. So using my AWG Wild Ginger finishing spray, I'm just giving her a little bit of hold in there. She needs a little bit of something, again, because she's so silky. The AWG Wild Ginger finishing spray has a little bit of a matte finish. I can use it for working through her hair, combing it through. I can also use it, of course, as a finishing spray to give her that really nice set-in style. So for me, it's just giving me a little bit of hold. It's allowing me to work with Jenny's hair and still keep it soft and luxurious, but be able to pull this up and have it stay. So I'm just working down the strand, and I'm going to work all the way to the front hairline, just taking fairly large size sections. You know, you don't have to spend all day teasing this. It's really just to expand her hair and give her some base. And we want to be able to smooth this out, so you know, you don't have to feel like you need to sit there and tease it all day. All right. So my last section right here in the front of the hair. And giving that one just a light tease because that's really going to smooth and go over that. All right, so you can see how much expansion that gave her hair. I'm going to be doing a nice French pleat to go in there, and this is really going to give me that great base that we look for with that. Okay, so now that I'm finished with that, I've kind of set each section with the tease, with a nice barrel curl, and then with my small styling cone for some more ringlet curls in the front. Now that I'm done with that, all of these curls have cooled off, so I've really gotten that set in there that I'm looking for, really giving Jenny's fine texture of hair some base. And you can see as I pull these out how pretty all these curls are. So even when I'm doing a down style, this is a fantastic way to set the entire head if you need to, and let them cool off, and you get all these beautiful ringlet curls. All right, so in here, I want to make sure, I'm going to take just a little bit of styling treatment oil. This is a fantastic treatment oil. If you haven't worked with this, I really encourage you to do that. It's very light, very shiny. It doesn't pull the curl out. It just allows me to give it some anti-frizz and allow me to pull my fingers through the hair to really work through those curls. Okay, so with my teasy brush, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to take sections and I'm just going to give it a little bit of a tease and base. Because I am going to come in here and do this French pleat, I want to make sure this side also has a little bit of that volume and expansion that I did on the right side of the head. All right, so just working up through. If you want more volume and you really want her to be big and beautiful, then you can do this more straight out from the head. Or if you want this to be a little bit lower, then just lower it down just a little, over direct it down. Okay. And now that I have that, I'm just going to smooth the surface of the hair. And I can use my teasy brush for this, or you could use your dressing brush for this. And on both sides, my back section and my right section, I'm really going to pull all this over and just really smooth that down. And I'm bringing it all the way over to the left side because that's where I'm going to start my pinning. And now that I've kind of got that where I want it, give it another little spray with the AWG Wild Ginger Finishing Spray to set. And pull that down. So that's just really going to hold some of those little fine hairs together. I love the way that hairspray sets my hair in there, but still allows me to comb through it. Okay, so once I have that over to the left side of the head, I'm going to take my 3-inch pin. So these are my 3-inch pins, also known as Roberts, and they're going to allow me to get the base of my French pleat. Okay, sliding that up, and then I'm going to crisscross the top so that these will kind of lock into place. And typically I only need about 3 of these to go up the head. If someone has a little bit smaller of a head, you may only need a couple of these, but I find that 3 is usually about right. And I'm also doing it slightly off center. So you can see this is a little bit over to the left, and you just crisscross those ends to lock them in. Okay, so now I've got my teasy brush in my hand again, and I'm going to just twirl this over and really smooth this down. And I'm going to give her a quick little spray, get some of those flyaways down, and to help me smooth and pull this into place. And also focusing on the tail, she's got lots of length down here, so I'm going to smooth this out as well. There's a little bit of tease in there,